Hey guys! Today we will be reacting to a man who has worked at the same job for 84 years. And he's also going to be giving some career advice to young people. Are we sure we really want career advice from him? This seems more like a tale of what not to do. This is like if Elizabeth Holmes of Theranos offered us advice on how to start up a company. Yeah, thanks, but no thanks. 84 years is a long time on this earth, let alone to be working at one place. Let's hear about this man's journey. Alrighty, so 100-year-old Brazilian breaks record after 84 years at the same company. So this is a picture of him back when he was younger. He used to have a little unibrow, and this is a more recent picture of him, and he no longer has a unibrow, and he's looking quite good for 100 years old. He's got the little watch and a button up. Man, he's more stylish than I am. How long have you been working at the same company? 5 years? 10 years? I'm gonna say that most of you are nowhere in this ballpark. But Walter Orthmann from Brazil has been working at the same company for 84 years and 9 days, as verified on January 6th of 2022. Okay, so if this was verified in January, why did it take all the way till April for this to be actually published? I guess Guinness had so many more important records that they pushed this for a slow news day. I also like how they added the 9 days in here, as if just working at the same company for 84 years wasn't impressive enough. They needed to add in the extra 9 days. That's what made it impressive. Next, they're gonna add in the hours, the seconds. He worked at the same company for 84 years, 9 days, 8 hours, and 32 seconds. Walter's passion, discipline, and commitment is what motivated him to keep doing what he loves, and eventually he became an official Guinness World Records title holder for the longest career in the same company. So here's another picture of Walter, and this time he's holding his little Guinness World Records certificate, and I'm not sure what this other thing that he's holding is, but I'm sure it's something important to him. Man, if you thought spending $80,000 in student loans for a piece of paper was a waste, this man has worked at the same company for 80 years, and he also gets a piece of paper. On January 17th, 1938, Walter Orthmann started working as a shipping assistant when he was just 15 years old at a textile company in Santa Catarina, Brazil. Walter has always been very enthusiastic when it comes to learning something new. He was born in Brusque, a small town in Santa Catarina, Brazil, which has a large German population. Fun fact, there's somewhere in the ballpark of 6 million people living in Brazil that are of German descent, mostly in the southernmost point. So the article continues to go on about Walter's early days. It says, rain or shine, mud or frost, propelled by his tenacity, Walter would walk barefoot to school to study and then practice at home. I like how in a lot of these articles, in order to make the main character seem more inspiring, they make a lot of everyday situations sound like they are so stunning and so brave. Like he had to walk in the rain, or he had to walk outside when it was sunny? Man, poor Walter, if only humans hadn't been doing this for thousands of years. Has he ever lived through a Midwest winter when it's like negative 30 degrees out? Or what about paying $7 a gallon for gas? I think having to pay that much for gas is worse than having to walk in the sunshine. So the article continues, however, due to financial problems at home, he began to work to help his family. He went to the weaving mill with his mom to apply for a job, and because of his strong proficiency in German, he was hired. He has worked at the same company ever since. Back in 1938, kids were expected to help support the family. As the oldest son of 5, my mother took me to find a job at the age of 14. Walter Orthmann. Hey, I always encourage teenage kids to get a job as soon as possible. Even if you're just making minimum wage, a lot of that work ethic, that discipline that you learn from just taking orders and doing even the most basic of work, that really does build you up for the future. After getting his first position as a shipping assistant, Walter showed outstanding skills and willingness to learn, always doing more than expected. Shortly after, he was promoted to a position in sales, then he became a successful sales manager. Man, can you imagine having Walter as your manager and having to do a one-on-one with this guy? It must be so intimidating. He's probably like, well, if you want to be like me, you gotta stay here for 80 more years with no pay raises, and you gotta walk in the rain, you gotta walk in the mud, you gotta walk in the sunshine. Oh, and even though we have shoes now, you have to go walk barefoot to work. Can you also imagine Walter trying to get a raise at his job? He probably meets with the owner and is like, hey, you know I've worked here for the past 77 or so years, but if I don't get this 2% pay raise, There's only a 99% chance I'll come back next year, and I'm serious this time. Now here's a picture of younger Walter with his coworkers, and you can tell how committed he is to work because the others are all like physically touching each other like you do in a normal photo, but Walter is literally sitting down with his paperwork and he has his hand on his pen. Like the others probably begged to take a photo with him, but Walter was like, alright, I'll compromise with you. I'll take a photo with my work, but y'all can just stand behind me. I also noticed this gigantic green curtain that blocks all sunlight from coming into the office. You can tell Walter definitely had this installed himself so he didn't have to be bothered by seeing kids have fun outside and so that he could stay committed to his work. Walter can also apparently work miracles because apparently he was given the opportunity to work as a salesperson. I traveled to Sao Paulo and in less than 1 week, I filled the production with orders equivalent of 3 months of work. I don't know how he's doing 3 months of work in just 1 week. Is Walter some sort of superhuman? Does that mean every week he works, he's really doing the equivalent of someone else doing 3 months of work? You know Jeff Bezos has definitely just entered the chat and wants to exploit Walter of his work ethic DNA. Walter mentions that he was frequently traveling throughout his 84 years. Walter believes that the best part about having a job is that it gives you a sense of purpose, commitment, and a routine. In the 50s, he started traveling across the country and had the opportunity to meet people from different places and cultures. He fell in love with being constantly on the move and establishing good relationships with clients who became friends. I wonder if he allowed those friends to take a picture of him with his work like he did with these friends. Also, since he was frequently traveling, I'm sure he got away from this green curtain for a little bit. Throughout his 84 years of work, he has seen many things change in the company. I sure hope things are changing in 84 years, otherwise the company might not be around for too much longer. He's seen many things change in the country and in the world. As a result, he has come to understand that one of the most important parts of business is to always be up to date and adapt to different contexts. Totally true. If you're not always innovating and getting better and adapting to the times, you're going to be out of business real quick. I do wonder though if Walter has ever heard of the Great Resignation and how it's totally normal now for employees to switch jobs every 2 to 3 years. Here's a no context picture of Walter looking really spiffy in a suit. The background just appears to be a painting of a bunch of men with mustaches, also wearing similar attire. The caption is pretty useless. It just says record holder with a black suit, as if we couldn't see that for ourselves. So it says on April 19th, 2022, Walter Orthmann turned 100 years old. He celebrated his centenary in the company of his coworkers, friends, and family with an unforgettable party. Oh man, you know I always hear about how crazy and out of control those 100-year-old bangers are. If you thought turning 21 was fun, just wait till you reach 100. His charisma, empathy, and humanity is what makes him a strong and meaningful leader. And we were blessed to get this photo of him at his 100th birthday party. He gets to raise his fist, and there's a number 100 emoji decoration on his birthday cake. That's pretty cool. And notice how you don't actually see his other hand. So it's possible he's still holding on to that pen in case he gets a second to sneak in some more work. I also noticed he's wearing the same suit and tie in this photo than he is in this photo. So maybe they were taken the same day. Maybe like this was the pre-game and this was the after party. I'm just trying to give some context here. The last word of this paragraph was actually context, as if this is some sort of symbolism. Like, hey, we're gonna end this paragraph with context, and then we're gonna give you this no context photo of Walter with a bunch of men in mustaches and suits. When we do what we like, we don't see the time go by. Walter is in good health, he has excellent mental clarity and memory, he enjoys a calm life and exercises every day. And I'm glad to hear Wally's getting those gains. Is he a Wally? He kind of looks like he could be a Wally or a Waltz. I think he can definitely rock either of them. As a result, he has been able to maintain enough vitality and energy to drive to his favorite place every day, the office. Of course, you already knew that's how he was gonna end that sentence. He was of course gonna drive to the office. But I also like how he's built up enough energy in life that he's now able to drive to work. He no longer needs to brave the rain or the sunshine, and he doesn't have to walk barefoot. He now has just enough to afford a car and drive to work. He comments that the best professional advice he can give is to try and work for a good company and in an area where you feel motivated. And, here's just an adorable picture of Walter using what looks to be an iPad of some sort. And he's keeping safe in this post-C19 world with his little hand sanitizer. Something tells me he's definitely not a work-from-home kind of guy. Walter achieved a record-breaking career with many memorable moments by believing in the power of the present. I don't do much planning, no care much about tomorrow. All I care about is that tomorrow will be another day in which I will wake up, get up, exercise, and get to work. By the way, I'm not really sure why I'm reading this in this accent. It's definitely not a German Brazilian accent. But in my head, this is how I figure Wally would talk. You need to get busy with the present, not the past or the future. Here and now is what counts. So, let's get to work. I like how his parting words are, hey, let's get back to work, as if you could expect anything less from this guy. For Walter, breaking a Guinness World Record title is an honor and a privilege. I get the feeling that most people aren't born and they're like, you know what, I'm gonna be that guy that works at the same company for 84 years. Walter broke his own record previously set in 2019 at 81 years and 85 days. Doesn't he break his record every day? Like, that's a weird flex by Guinness. They're like, no.
He only breaks the record when we say so.
I always enjoy reading the comment sections on articles. Tony says,
he shall own the company by now. Awesome. Double exclamation mark.
I'm pretty sure he meant to say he should own the company by now. Jock or Jaquest says he's gonna get the nicest of watches. I'm sure that's what he was really looking forward to all these years. Lauren Smith found this comment really funny, saying, ha ha ha. In fact, she found it so funny that she double posted and said, ha ha ha. There's also this one comment that I thought was actually one of those crypto scams, but it was actually a real comment and someone actually took the time to alternate each letter as lowercase and uppercase. Hello, Walter, as if he's actually reading this article in the comments. Your achievement is unbelievable but true, and it has to be seen in order to believe. To live 100 years is not... Okay, I'm just gonna give up on reading this, but I'm sure Steve with 2 E's, I'm sure he meant well. We also have many people saying God bless you, and then Donald with no profile picture saying good man. Alright guys, in all seriousness, I do want to congratulate Walter on all his hard work, as if he's gonna watch this video, but people really shouldn't be inspired to break this record. Data shows that switching jobs every couple of years, that actually leads to a higher salary. 29% of people say that they had their compensation increased by more than 30% when they switch jobs. It could also just be better company benefits, more flexibility, more paid time off. And I'm speaking from experience here, company loyalty does not pay. Companies will definitely try to pigeonhole you if they know they can get away with paying you less. Alright guys, the goal of this video is just to get a good laugh, bring some positivity. If you know of any good articles or videos that are somewhat tied to finance that you think would be a good video for me to react to, please send them my way. Make sure you've hit that like button for the algorithm. Hopefully this video is funny enough or cringy enough for you to share to a friend. Make sure you're subscribed for more of this content, and I will green curtain you later.